Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated. I mentioned on the last episode the terrifying nightmares I had about what would happen to the Kingdom of Ireland if we didn't build more onagers. Well, I had the same terrifying dreams last night. I really should stop drinking so much coffee so late in the evening. But this time it was about what would happen if we didn't build more soldiers in general. So what I'm pretty much going to do is I'm going to add one, at minimum, to each of these men-at-arm regiments. This one is already maxed out. And we're going to wait for our new numbers to come back to capacity. I think we're 2,000. We're almost 2,000 under at the moment. I have our marshal organising levies. And in a couple of months' time, when a few people have joined us as knights, we're going to start one of the last major raids of the kingdom, and we're going to raid this area that has been of so much use to us in the past. I'm pretty much going to skip all of the fortified regions, maybe not that one has a lot of money, and head just for these unfortified ones, just try and blitz our way through the region, put together a couple of hundred quid, some prestige, and I think we're going to have to start the reconquest of England again 2.0, probably by finishing off the Duchy of Lancaster and seizing these two counties. And, can we see it? There's one down here somewhere. We're going to go for 3 counties, basically, in 2 separate wars straight away once we have this place taken. As I said, we're waiting for a few knights to answer summonses. We're also waiting for a couple of prisoners that we took in our engagements in Bohemia to join us. Here is a guest. He's not somebody who has answered the call for knights. He's just somebody who wandered into our court. Fulcari Salian. He's a Catholic. He's a Crusader. And what must it be like for him? Witnessing the fall of Rome, first of all fell to Hellas, then to Egypt. He is watching the collapse of Catholicism throughout Europe. He has crusaded in the name of the church, and his reward was... So he has watched the collapse of Catholicism throughout Europe, and he has realized that if Christianity has any chance of succeeding, of staying strong, it is probably the insular Christians who he should be fighting for. So he has come to offer us his service. Probably also he wants us to help him retake Dithmarschen, second only to Ulm on the list of greatest counties ever. I don't think we're going to be pushing for Dithmarschen. We are, however, going to recruit him. He's pricey because, like I said, he's not answering the nightly summons. But we're going to recruit him. And straight into the armies he goes. You gain a knight, you lose a knight. Here is one of the champions that we have. Tig. It's Tig. We're probably going to end up giving Irish names to all of these people coming to our kingdom. But he was a peasant leader. We somehow took him captive and we've forced him into our armies. Well, we've lost Patrick Fitzpatrick, because of course it was a matrilineal marriage, so he has left our court. For that of his wife, we had appointed him as our spy master before he could cause any trouble. And we have the High Queen assisting the ruler. Do you know what? We might as well put Waldrada. We could put Art in there, but he's just a count. I think he was serving as a knight at one stage. Yeah. Nobody else is both good enough and desiring enough of the position. Sure. While doing my regular check through the kingdom after the last episode, I realized there were quite a lot of children with no educators. We have taken our son, Dovdaleha, under our own wing, training him in the martial lifestyle. Following the death sentence of a lowly thief, he has asked us, or we have asked him, what he thought. If we give him temperate, it is a virtue amongst insular Christians. I think that is the direction we will go. The others will give us stress. We could make him cynical like ourselves. I think we will give him temperate. Mancoin Uí Néill has answered our summons. 18 prowess. He's a hunter. And of course, a military engineer desperately needed at the moment. And into the armies he goes. The High Queen Elizabeth is pregnant. Rather unexpected. So this will be her 4th child. Our 3rd child, and she already had a daughter with... And look at this. Well, I suppose he's not back long from the Bohemian debacle. And into, I think, maybe the 2nd week of January. With a new knight and 2 of our wives pregnant, I think it is time to begin raiding into northern England. Now, look at that. I was just about to say it took me about half an hour to get everybody split into 4 separate armies, the way we shouldn't suffer too much attrition, and get them raiding various areas, try and keep them close together the way that we can actually bring everyone together. We pretty much need to group all four armies together to actually resist the English if they come for us. Our daughter, who was sickly in the last episode, she has grown strong. She has recovered from her sickly trait. We might be able to marry her out to somebody. But look at that for a pop-up. Poor Giles. The Earl of Lancashire has died from a seizure. 63 years of age. Like I said, he gave a tremendous amount of service. Lost a leg. Lost an eye. Became possessed at some stage. Finished off the overseer trait before he died. And he has indeed been in a position to see his son succeed him as the Earl of Lancashire. I just spotted that his mother is his heir. And if she was to murder him, because of course she was our spy master, if she was to murder him, I presume her son from her first... I was going to say marriage. It wasn't a marriage. It's an illegitimate child. I have no idea who will inherit this place if Giles dies. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Giles, bless you. Giles the Elder. No important kills to his name, but tremendous commander. And I was glad that we were able to give him some bit of peace in the final days of his life. So we can see what the English have done. They have risen their entire forces to the north of us. They're sending them out to sea, and what we're probably going to do is wait for them to come ashore. I presume they'll come ashore directly to attack us, and we should be in a position to move some of our armies to deal them a pretty heavy blow, I would hope. Another knight has answered the summons. What a time. What a time to be a knight. So the English are sending their army in against the one that we have in Dunbar. We have started to bring the other armies around. Ercaid is actually the commander there, and look who is leading the enemy forces. I suppose he'd have to. We should get the High King's army in shortly. Will it be enough to hold this battle for the other enforcements to come up, though? We're actually seeing it's taking... That should not have taken that long for the High King's army to get in. Are we back to this issue again? Our physician, who wrote Quillen's book, has disastrously mistreated our daughter. We'll say we all knew the risks. You are forgiven. Because in fairness, we did. We did all know the risks. What exactly happened there? He still isn't moving in from what I can see. So this could be one disaster after another. Now, finally, after months and months and months, the High King's army goes in. I don't know what's happening there. That's a bit annoying. Our poor old champion, his first day on the job. Nhat Friach, the former King of England, has been encased in a metal mask. Fergus, of the Honau Kyle family, has drank himself to death. I don't know what's going on here. We'll take a look first of all at the disaster at Dunbar, and this is why we need all the armies in quickly, is because we have our knights stretched across all of the armies. He must have been wounded in this battle. Maybe he was wounded in the next one, the former King of England. Ercaid with 100 kills. Fulcari, wounded in the battle. His first ever battle, and he's already wounded. I think he's actually been cured from that already, thankfully. And then if we look at that second battle, there he is, the former king, was wounded. Let's see what his health is like. He's fine. Mancon, again, first day on the job. Gets wounded. Frodrigo, his 1000th day on the job. And Tig Moore was wounded in battle on his first day on the job. I've married some of the new knights off to basically anybody that I can find. I've also married some of the old knights off to anyone that I can find. This lady is lustful, so hopefully she will help 68-year-old Frodrigo. Elizabeth has given us another daughter, Condal. May you grow to be strong and wise, my daughter. I think we'll keep the armies... Oh, the English have just vanished into the night. We're bringing across poor old Elgal's army. That got a bit of a hammering. We'll send it there. I forgot, 2 of our wives were pregnant at the same time. And again, well, I won't say again, but I do remember mentioning this at some point in time, possibly 1,000 videos ago. And I've gotten myself confused. So this Tovna would be our daughter, but there is already a Tovna. It's not a very common name. But she's the daughter of Elizabeth and Quillen. The point I was going to make is that it was actually very common, and it's very confusing, in the real life annals, where a ruler would have 2 and often more children with the exact same name by different wives. So I thought that this would be our second child called Tovna, but it's not. But that wouldn't have been uncommon, and it's actually, it causes a great deal of confusion in the study of Irish history because you don't know which person you are dealing with. Which Morcha is this? Because there's 3 Morchas that are all children of a specific king. Do you know what? We'll go with Tovna to cancel out the Green Grafador Tovna. Federigo, I applaud you. Well done, good sir. His wife is pregnant, so we might have a continuation of the Typolo knightly family. Fair play to him. Somebody has just paid a ransom for one of our prisoners. We have 2 more. Here is Eleonora. Nobody will give us money for her, but she is near death. So what we will do is we will demand her conversion and negotiate her release. The other is the Duke who allied with the peasant revolt that we defeated for Bohemia. And the poor guy, we were keeping him here to get as much money out of him as possible. He's now up to 1.4 gold per month more, but you know what? I've taken a tremendous amount of pity on him. 10th of June 1057, his wife was killed in a siege. And his son was killed in a siege. I don't know if that was us. It's the time is maybe June. What was I doing in June? I don't know. Do you know what? We'll release him. We'll release the poor man. We're not going to let him out. Like, we're not going to just release him. We'll ransom him, but we'll let him go home. And indeed, before we actually had time to ransom him out, the poor man has begged for his freedom. We'll click accept. Hopefully that will not mess things up. He leaves. Our councillor has died. Who the hell is our councillor? Why aren't we being told about needing to replace him? Oh, because it's the archbishop. That's fine. So we have a new archbishop in new robes. Everyone's getting fancy robes these days. All the archbishops are wearing fancy new clothes. And you know what? We'll marry him off. It's been a long time since we've had a married archbishop. We'll marry him off to a distant branch of the family. Her grandfather was the Earl of Nottinghamshire. So off into the English branch of the family. I have no idea who these people are. Our vassal, Duke Luaid, he's a grandson of Luaid I and a great-grandson of Moltoli. I think he was serving as one of our knights for a while. He shouldn't be, with an 8, but he was. He hasn't left his chambers since he arrived because of our invitation. We pushed the door in, we find him writing furiously, and we see him quickly stuff a roll of parchment into his pocket. Again, I don't see Ercaid being understanding. I don't see him being secretive. We could come back later on. See, it's not going to make a difference if he loses opinion with us, because he's already at minus 100. Let's return to his chambers later and see. The sedative I put in his spiced wines sure did the trick. Within minutes, I have found the piece of parchment he hid from me. Well, well, well. How delightfully wicked. According to this blackmail letter, Luaid has intimate relations with other men. I don't care. He's at minus 100 as long as he's not planning to kill me. Poor old England, it would appear, has given up on its attempts to stop us. We are marching one of the forces. They were the ones that were hit by them originally. We've marched them basically through Cumberland, then through our own territory to bring back some gold. We'll push down. I don't think we're going to push too much further. I don't think we can push too much further. This will... Oh no, there's 2 armies here. Ah yeah, we can still get another 76 gold with those guys. And what about the High King here? He's at capacity. So I'm afraid we're going to have to send these 2 back. And we might send them down to York afterwards. We'll see. We're into February of 1059. This is the first year of our raid. So our raid has been going on for a year, I should say. And I think we're maybe going to shove down as far as Cottingham, Pockington, and Doncaster. And I think that is where we will draw a line. We have sieged down, raided down all of the ridings. West Riding, North Riding, East Riding, South Riding. That, I think that kind of floated away or something. That's not there. Do we have an ability to send these guys down? We do. We can get another 76 with them. I've had to send one of those groups back. It doesn't look like they can even assist with the siege. They are just too full of money, which is a good and a bad place to be. And I don't think we'll be sending them back. Hopefully we won't need to. I don't think so. Haha! The High King has gone burning and raiding through North Riding. It has fallen to my raiders. We have the run of vast tracts of land and many of the quivering subjects and shining treasures of Duke Coning to choose from. That's a very appropriate name. I've gone through that before already, how Coning is an Anglo-Saxon, or it comes from the Anglo-Saxon for king, and it's an Irish name, adopted from alliances with families in this region, so that's quite handy. We can get 40 development for Dublin, same as before. We can get 30 gold and 75 prestige, or we've taken enough already. Ha! Let's see what Dublin needs for the next development growth level. Well, there has been absolutely no development here since the last time. We took some volunteers, so we'll just go for plunder. Who can say no to 30 quid? And just before the High King finishes off another siege, we get a martial perk. There you go. Earl Beringer. Let's check who this man is. That's what I was thinking. This is the guy who we gave, or who our father, Ruacon II, gave this county to 34 years ago. And now we return to say hi. So we'll close out of that. We will bounteous plunder. And with that we are now finished all of our sieges, and we will bring back our forces. These guys got 24 gold. Fantastic. I just left the this army waiting around just in case it was needed, and that's not a bad day's work. It actually looks like one of our places was sieged down, but it wasn't. It was that church. So one comes back with 51 and 51 prestige, and the High King comes back with 54 and 54 prestige. We're up to 1,800 gold, 3,400 prestige. We lost a lot in that engagement, and we've gotten the bulk of it back again, which was fantastic. I won't say we lost it, but we just lost it here and there. We had just 2 major engagements with the English, which shows you kind of how weak they are. What's our max military capacity now? 5,500, and it's taking... We're getting 151 a month. We'll see what we're going to do. We might very well organize a hunt or something like that to decrease some stress and to get some more prestige. What we'll deal with first of all is our martial lifestyle perk. Doesn't take much thinking. We're going to go straight for absolute control and unlock. I think we have a couple of counties on full control, so that should benefit them. Absolute control for counties will give us additional taxes and levies. Like I said, while we have the opportunity, it's the cheapest option. It'll also drop 42 stress. We will call a hunt. Poachers, here in the Duke's Woods. They huddle together as I ride up with my guards, making a poor job of hiding the dead bear behind them. We did not do this, your mercy. their blades and bows belie their words. There is a stewardship challenge. We could try and take possession of the bear and find the people. However, you all seem to be excellent bowmen. This gives us poacher training +2 prowess for 10 years. I think that's what we'll go with. What's our prowess at now? 19. I think it's fair to say that Ercaid is one of the highest prowess kings that we have ever had. And that was it. That was the entire hunt. We found somebody who had killed a bear, and we got them to show us how to use a bow, and we get 150 prestige. Well, there's a terror. I don't know if you saw it in the big font across the top of the screen. Because of that hiding that he got from the English, inverted commas, in air quotes, poor Duke Eilgal or Eilgal has died. He was in line to succeed us, but it was highly unlikely. He was 56 years of age. He had 1 kill to his name in our escapades in Bohemia. It means that there is a position on the council. I think he was our diplomat, was he? Oh no, he was our marshal, I believe. And is it telling us who's in line to succeed us next? It's Lued, who we were just... we found something in his room when we were tidying. We found a note. Usually I wouldn't give this title to our top marshal. I would give it to somebody who somebody like Anamcoid here. However, we need the levies increased, we need the men trained. Paig Moore O Strahomaski. What an adventure that man has had. In terms of the succession, we're going to go with the candidate who is currently in 211th place, our nephew, Uí Néill. So we'll cast our vote in his favour first of all. It's actually made him our preferred successor at the moment. Because I think everybody else is just so heavily split. Only one other candidate is receiving more than 1 vote. I'm sure that'll update in a second. Let's take a look at him. He is the son of our brother, Duke Leinchuk of Mercia. He didn't inherit Mercia, or maybe he did and it was taken off of him. Let's actually... How did Mercia go? There you go. It was actually taken off of him. Somebody else was installed as part of a faction demand. 3-star money man. Moderate stewardship. He's nothing tremendous. He's had a couple of battles. Oh no, he hasn't. He executed somebody. That might have contributed to his being overthrown, even though it was a peasant leader. Pretty much, he's younger than us at the very least, and he's the best of what I can see around the place. It is the 2nd of December, 1059. 59, almost 60 years after when I said this playthrough was going to come to an end. I might have said 1066 at latest. I'd say we'll be going on a bit longer, probably until the end of Ercaid's life. And I'd say Ercaid might very well be the last High King that I will play as in this playthrough. But on the 2nd of December, 1059, realizing that we need to start moving quickly, we have 4,100 troops to our name. We come to Cheshire. Earl Sorkver. We come to offer vassalization, -99. We come to declare war. We will seize de jure... Oh, I thought we could seize de jure duchy. We can't. Conquer county. Where are we going for? Change the objective. No, Lancaster is exactly what we want. We will declare war. He has 3,500 troops. And before we even get in there, we will come and take a look at this guy. He has 1,700 troops to his name. But again, because we need to move quickly, we will conquer the county of Leicestershire. And it looks like the news that he was being attacked by Ireland came as such a shock to Sorkver that he died, and his son now controls this entire region. He is going to... What we might do... I thought he was going to head south to meet up with some allies. But looks like he's going to actually try and bring the battle to us. So there's going to be a large encounter in Staffordshire. If we can catch him, I think we will. One of the two armies has caught him. And the new Count is actually leading the battle. Ealgal II is serving in the armies, replacing his father. Leicestershire has raised its army. Well, well, well. Look who's come crawling back looking for more allies. Damn Daniel. If you can't beat somebody called the Foolish with 890 troops, how much of an alliance do they have? 1,800. If you can't beat them without our help, I don't know what to say to you. We'll accept. We're probably not going in there. Now Cheshire actually has, or Leicestershire actually has a sizable enough army. I knew this when I declared war. I have military commanders, or I should say I have siege commanders in charge of both of the armies. We're going to siege Cheshire, which we need, and Shropshire, which we don't, just to keep them close together. I have a fear that if I send the second army to Derby, we could end up in a situation where Leicestershire moves its forces north. As that siege is going on, we can see that Cheshire has regained composure. It's heading south. I think it has allies, so we might actually pause just to make sure that that we don't get hit by anything. Ercaid with 48 kills, Cosrach with 45, Foharte, I think with 39, Owen 38. He's falling down a bit. Who else do we recognise? There's Tygmore. Fredrigo with his little baba. Stefan, another good Irish name. And a couple of dukes down at the bottom. That's not good. It looks like Cheshire is going to come back and try and strike at us again, maybe. I'm not too sure what they're thinking. If they come at either of the two armies, we'll probably have to lift the other siege. If he's doing what I think he's doing and maneuvering himself around to attack the High King, that would be absolutely fantastic, because... No, he's actually going for... that's even better. Is he going for Dublin? So we should be able to finish off those two sieges. Waldrada has given out to us again. I will give as good as I get. The last time we lost stress. This time we've formed a rivalry with our wife. If we know anything about angry wives, or if Flann Sinna knows anything about angry wives, we should not allow our wives to stay angry with us. At least we should not let them stay alive. What's after? Did somebody come at the back of your head with a razor? Did somebody shave the back of your head? Or is this actually hair? You haven't been playing around in the cow dung again, have you? What the hell is on your head? Our child, Dovdaleha, has been fighting with this... I don't know what to... Your mother's going to have words with you. But Dovdaleha has given out about him. You're twice his age. The only really good option is this one. Arbitrary. So, sure. We've taken some prisoners in the siege of Cheshire. We'll finish off this one in Shropshire, and then we'll bring the army up. Waldrada has discovered that somebody is trying to kill Waldrada. Yeah, maybe. We'll think about stopping it. You think about not giving out to me all the time. Okay, we have won the second siege. We're up to 91% war score. We will have to. I don't think we have much of a choice. Bring the armies out. They're actually close to sieging that area down. Hopefully we'll be able to sprint up and hit them. The High King and his forces will go in first, followed by somebody who isn't the High King. That's still the same dude? I think it is. I didn't expect that we would be able to bring the war to an end that quickly. And how are our forces looking? If we take a look at the battle very quickly, Ercaid on top, Owen, Murdoch, Pygmoor, Mancon falling down a bit, Duke Doved coming up the ranks a bit. Fredrigo has other things to be worrying about. Temnon, who is 56, so he's about a decade and a half older than us, and he is our nephew. That's just how mad Rocon's family is. We will dismiss that. We can see that Leicestershire is sending up both of its armies, so we're going to have to respond. I have given Derby to Westmoreland, who controls Man and this region, Lancaster. We made him the Duke of Lancaster. So I might give Lancashire. No, I might give Cheshire to Lancashire. I'm holding on to it for the moment. We're going to march these armies down. I think they're probably coming for Derby. They are indeed. They are sieging down Derby. So we should be able to get our forces a bit closer together and send them in one after the other. And with any luck, have they started withdrawing too late? Will we manage to catch them? Or are we going to be on a big run around? We managed to catch them. I think the two hardest working people in the kingdom are the High King and his wife, Dovkovlig. She trained some vassals, I think, on this episode, and she's given us 2 children. We will march and siege Leicestershire. I did forget to mention, I don't think we're going to be taking part in any continental wars, possibly ever again. Because every time we send forces to Europe, it's going to be delaying by possibly a decade what we need to get done. Let's check the details from that battle. It's the same old figures. Was anyone wounded? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. I think everybody came off A-okay. Leicestershire, I believe, are sending their forces back up again. I've left the High King sieging their capital. I'm sure they'll probably come in against him, and we have a secondary army that will be able to come out and attack them if necessary. And actually, what they look to be doing is coming around the back of the other army, which is a good idea in fairness. Are we going to have to lift the siege? Are we going to have to lift the siege? If you guys could manage this without needing to lift the siege, that would be fantastic. We've wounded their commander. It's very close. It's not very close. No, we're losing that battle. That's a pity. I won't say it's a pity. They put up a fantastic effort. They held that at bay for a considerable period of time. We might be able to get in there just before it turns into a defeat. I was distracted by trying to read what commander we had wounded. But I think it's going to be a costly hit for them. It's going to delay us in terms of time. We send them off again. I won't say it was a costly battle for them, but they lost 2 knights, one killed by Owen, and the other was killed by Fochartia. And we can see Khosrowshaich delighted with his new county, topping the list of kills. Who else did a great job? Everyone, you all did a great job, but Luaid got injured, but 25 kills, quite impressive, before many of these lower down ones then were the army that came in towards the end. But they did a fantastic job, held on for a victory. And now we have to send the forces back and start that siege all over. That army that was hit, I'm actually going to withdraw them a bit further north to Derby, just to let them recuperate. And hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be starting a lengthy siege all over again. Just to make sure I have my armies right. There is the High King with his 50 onagers. Station besiegers. Leave enough soldiers in this army to continue the siege. That is cool. I didn't know there was such an option. Well, there you go. You discover something new when it's too late. Up come the Leicestershire forces again. We're bringing some reinforcements down to aid that unit that's just got a hammering. And look at that pop-up in the right-hand corner. Martha. Why would you say that name? Why would you tell me this now? Martha has died from obesity. There goes our dreams of Iceland utterly. Her daughter, who ended up, I don't know where the hell she ended up. She was married to a member of her family for a while, the Duke of Damascus, and then she was married to somebody in Hama. She has had some children. Do they? No, it doesn't look like they inherited her claims to Iceland. And there you go. The numerous dreams that we had about Iceland are dead. I didn't think that she'd get the second son in, or should I say out, in this episode. But Dovkovlig has given us a son. She's gone for one of the names I find difficult to pronounce. I always say Indiracht, but I know it's not. Indritach. It was the name of, was it Quillen's elder brother or Ruacon's brother? Do you know what? May you grow to be strong and wise, my son. If we pause very quickly, he's beginning to put together a substantial number of children. He is 12 now. God, they all love him. Oh my god, Father of the Year. Actually, yeah, we got a pop-up there a couple of seconds ago, and I didn't fully understand what it meant. Moelon has created his own cadet branch. Moelon, you were a member of a cadet branch, so he has split off from the Green Grafadorta and formed House Dálach. Okay. The poor old Green Grafadorta are now reduced to just 8 living members. Here is, I presume, the house head. Yep, he is. Natfriach. Wounded in... oh god, I can't remember. Was he wounded in a battle against us? Maybe. Maybe. If I remember correctly, Natfriach was indeed wounded in battle against us in one of the early battles in this episode, which feels like a decade ago. Our eldest son, Holmon, is not great at anything, but he is allied to Bohemia. Great. Do you know, I might very well break that alliance. Oh no! We lost. Well, here's Daniel. He's the father of the new king of Bohemia. I think we're going to be breaking that alliance. Or breaking that betrothal. Do you know what? I'm going to be an arsehole. We're going to see if we can move our army out. Oh, I thought they were coming to attack our army. They're not. They're coming to siege down Derby. That's fine. You genuinely are the foolish. But pretty much at this point in time, it's all that they can do. It's all that they can do. Lots of pop-ups. I don't know about this. Tig Moore comes to us and tells us he's found a promising new recruit. He might not be of noble stock. Tig, what do you know? I mean, what do you know? Let's check out this guy anyway. Let's see how good he is. Whoa! At 20! Legendary Blade Master already. Absolutely. How strangy. Very well. He shall serve us. And for that martial perk, absolutely no shock, horror, or surprise. We are going to go with Overseer. We're going to stay in the martial tree, but I think we're going to switch from authority focus because control is coming up. We're going to be going to peace for a while, so I don't think we need prowess right away. Do you know what? We'll continue on with authority focus. And with a final few beats of the drum, we should be in a position to take control of Leicestershire. The person that we're fighting has actually just died. We're up to 86%, so we're not in a position to win this war straight off. We did get 13 gold, however. We have more money than when we entered this war. This is absolutely fantastic. Either we will hit these people, we did indeed. We will either hit them or we will drive them out of the region. And there you go, the glorious sounds of victory. Enforce our demands. The last thing I will do is I will take a look at the slaughter at Derby that brought that war to an end. Ercaid, Owen, Murdoch, Tig Moore got himself wounded. I think he killed somebody as well, did he? Or did he wound somebody? Not too sure. I saw his name pop up. Same old names. We can dismiss. We will disband all the armies. And we can see Ireland again shoving into the region that once was England. We are over our domain limit. We have a lot of prisoners. I'm going to spend a while before the next episode going through them. Picking out the ones who are fit to serve in the armies, the ones who are fit to be ransomed, and the ones that are fit to be burned at the stake. And then we're going to have to consider what we're going to do next. Do you know what? It's entirely possible that because we split Cheshire, we might actually be able to go to war with Shropshire. We can indeed. We can indeed. So this is basically consuming the rest of this region. I think we might be able to take 2 counties. Do you know what? While I was there, I should have actually focused a bit more. Yeah, by taking Mercia, we can actually take 2 counties from him. So it looks like that is going to be our next war. And at that point in time, we'll have to see. That should hopefully be finished off quickly enough. In fairness, I always say that, but today's wars were actually fairly well done. To bring ourselves back under the domain limit, I will probably award Cheshire to either Giles or to the actual Duke of Man. I'm afraid that if I don't give it to him, or the Duke of Lancaster, I'm afraid that if I don't give it to him, that he'll start revoking territories. He also has territory in Ulster. This place has gotten confused now. I have a bit of work to do before the next episode. It wasn't the most exciting start, but the reconquest of England again has begun. Hopefully, by the time Ercaid is finished, he will be in a position to declare himself as Emperor. Thank you for joining me on this one, and I hope to see you on the next one.